What's going on, guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Firstly, I'm so sorry. It probably has been about over 2 weeks since I've picked up the camera, and because I've been so consistent with my YouTube game, it's been a while and I just needed some time to kind of recover from all the adrenaline and stress and anxiety, good and bad. Just from the past few weeks, been really busy. So after those shows, I wanted to take it easy for a little bit. I was just very adrenally exhausted. I think just with all the lead up to the shows and me being so excited, and then just like all the adrenaline on show day, and when it was finally over, I was just so tired, and that tiredness kind of lasted for the next 2 weeks. So I had a lot of backlog work to catch up on, and then I started getting pretty bombarded with inquiries, which I'm totally really thankful for. To anyone who is new to my team, who've recently joined, welcome. I'm so happy to have you guys. But yeah, I've just been bombarded with a lot of inquiries, which is great. Obviously not all of them follow through, and some can be quite tedious. I do spend a lot of time getting back to everyone, really spending the time to talk to people, get to know about like their goals, what they want to do, and then really explaining how I work before even taking someone on. Obviously giving them prices and stuff like that. So after that whole process, obviously not everyone still follows through, maybe because they're shopping around, maybe because I'm not right for them, maybe because whatever the reasons may be, they had second thoughts, or maybe they were just asking and then they were not 100% keen to come on board. Majority of the time it'd be because of pricing, budget, timing, just whatever it may be, they don't end up following through. But as of now, I have closed my intake for the whole month of November, and so if anyone wants to come on board, I'll only take them on board in December. This is because I only like taking a set amount of people at a time, because I want to give them all my attention and really make sure that, you know, I'm not spreading myself too thin, and I really want to keep the quality of my work high. So that's been great, but yes, then I just haven't had time to pick up the camera. I know it's all excuses and stuff, but I am back. I do need some help from you guys with regards to video ideas and stuff. But today I just really wanted to talk about myself and where I am mentally, emotionally, physically, I guess. But yeah, I've just kind of put off really talking about myself and my feelings for a while, because it's just kind of been all over the place. And to be honest, I was just not in the best headspace when it came to me personally, my own journey as a competitor and as an IFBB pro. I've been flourishing and growing and just pretty much killing it in my business, as a coach, and in so many other areas of my life. But in terms of being an athlete and being an IFBB pro, which was supposed to be the #1 thing on my list, because of COVID and this whole year and all the madness, and Australia in particular, and WA in particular. So I'm from Western Australia. So even though Australia is one freaking country, we just have different laws, different premiers, different rules for all the different states, and it's just really ridiculous to me. Like I can't even go to a different state right now. I'm still stuck in my state. And to give you guys like context on how ridiculous this is for example, if you were in, say, Malaysia, there's like KL and then maybe like PJ, and then they're pretty much saying if you're from KL, you can only stay in KL and you can't go to any other state. Freaking ridiculous. It's just like someone in LA not being able to go to Vegas. It's one country. I just don't understand why it has to be this way. Obviously our state has recovered pretty well in terms of COVID. I don't want to talk too much about COVID and make this like a whole COVID thing, but that's because it just hasn't affected my life greatly, and that's why I kind of need to touch on that, because because of that my whole year's plans of competing was just all thrown out the window. Obviously if you're new to the channel, then you probably wouldn't know, but like I was prepping for the Arnolds to make my pro debut. I was so excited, and then I was a week out and then it got cancelled. Shit hit the fan. And then I was still in good spirits at the time because I didn't think it'll last this long, and I aimed to pretty much go for the season B shows. In between, I was supposed to get married, so that got cancelled / postponed as well. And then I was aiming to do a New Zealand show, Singapore show, and probably like a Japan or Korea show towards the end of this year in December. There was possibly also going to be like Thailand or Philippines. I was not sure, but I had plans to travel internationally and compete, and I was very excited to do that. And then I really wanted to also like travel. I had so many plans for me personally, and yeah, it's just been really hard still coming to terms that like I haven't achieved any of my personal goals this year. So somewhat feel like a failure, even though I'm doing better than most people. At least, you know, in WA, Perth, we're not in full lockdown. I can still go to the gym, whereas my fellow Australians in Melbourne, they're in full lockdown, can't even go to the gym. It's been the longest lockdown in like the whole world. Like I don't think any other country or state has been in lockdown for as long as Melbourne. So it's pretty intense, it's pretty crazy, but it is what it is, you know. It's just really unfortunate, but like I said, I do like to practice gratitude, so I am grateful for so much. But I just wanted to just be honest that like, yeah, mentally I'm not doing well as like a competitor. I was just so hard for me because I have been such a focused person in the last 5 years that I'm always either in prep and on season, or I'm in off season, but I'm never really off. I always had it in my mind like I always knew the next show I wanted to do. I always knew what I had to do in the off season to improve, and every single day was dedicated to the next time that I would be on stage. The longest time I've probably taken like a proper break was probably when just before I started competing internationally. So I did my last state show here before the IFBB split, and then I took a break to do powerlifting. But even then, and even though I just really needed that break from competing and stuff, like when I was powerlifting, and as much as I loved it, I knew that I did it because I wanted to put on size in my legs, because I wanted to be better as a bikini competitor. Literally my whole life revolves around it. And so it's been really hard lately just not having a next show, and this is the first time that I don't have a next show in mind. And it's so hard because when I go to the competitions here locally and stuff, I always have people asking me, you know, when's your next show? And I'm just like, I honestly don't know. And the worst thing is, it's not up to me, and I'm such a control freak. Like I want to be in control of everything, like with myself, with my clients, with my life, that it's so hard that this is not in my hands. Like I can't work harder, I can't throw money at the situation, I can't, you know, work myself to the bone. Like I can't stay up late, lose sleep, eat less. Like there's nothing I can do. It's beyond my control whether I step on stage or not the next time. And the best part about comp prep is, you know, being in control. Like I have the power to change my body, to push myself, to, you know, do whatever it takes, even if it's like working harder at work so I have money to go and compete, and taking care of my health so that I'm healthy so that I can compete, and, you know, making sure that my relationships and friendships and family time and all that is in check so that mentally I'm in the best possible state to be able to compete. Like all that is within my control. I can do something about it. But with this whole COVID thing, I don't. My state is in lockdown, which again, for those of you who don't know, WA, which is Perth, which is where I'm at, we can't leave. And if we do leave, they won't stop us, but they won't let us come back. So even if other states are totally fine, and I know Singapore is welcoming Australians back in without having to quarantine, if I do leave, I will not be able to come back here. And this is where I live, this is where my family is, this is where I work, and that's the main thing. It's also a financial thing, because I work here, I can't afford to just be stuck overseas or in a different state somewhere. And it's just super unfortunate because, like I said, we as a state are doing pretty well. Most things are open here. We don't really have many cases. So I don't really see why we need to be this crazy strict now. It's been nearly a year, you know, since all these craziness. Like I'm sure, well, it hasn't been a year of Corona in Australia, but around this time last year, I'm pretty sure like shit was starting to go down. So yeah, I'm just really lost at the moment. I don't even consider myself in an off season, because when you're in the off season, you know when the next on is going to be. So every week in my off season, I'd be like, all right, I have like 25 weeks left of off season, 25 weeks left of growing, 25 weeks left of reverse dieting before I start prep. There is always some sort of a timeline, and this is the first time that I really just don't. I feel like I'm in no season because my future is nowhere near in sight. Like, they say that Perth might only open up its borders in April, which means even if there is an Arnold or an Australian Bikini Pro show in Melbourne in March, I will not be able to attend, and that is truly, truly, truly heartbreaking to me. And I've had to come to terms with this in the past month. Like, I pretty much told my coach, like, it's not looking like, even if the Arnold's does go through, or a Bikini Pro show or a Nationals happens, because it's going to happen in March, like, I will not be able to go. So that's off the cards for me, and that's very, very upsetting. I want nothing more than to make my pro debut. I want nothing more than to step on stage again. Like, when March comes next year, it would have been 2 years me being away from the stage. And that's a lot, because I compete like every single year, like since I've started. And even when I didn't compete in bodybuilding, like I competed in powerlifting, and it's part of my life. And having that being taken away from me by COVID, by the government, by my premier, it is just really, really, really devastating. And I don't think I share it or talk about it enough. I try to be super positive about it. I try to focus on what I can, and what I can focus on is continuing to build muscle, because I am still one of the smaller bikini girls. I compete at 42 kilos, so I need more muscle. It is what it is. Miss Bikini Olympia is getting bigger as well. So that's the standard. That's what I have to be. I have to put on more muscle, and I have to get bigger. So that's all I'm focusing on doing at the moment, and that's all I can do. So I'm just trying to focus on what I can, but it's been real tough. So I've been definitely steering away from the fitness lifestyle a little bit to be a bit more flexible. I've been focusing on work and being a coach, but also I've been focusing a lot on my social life and going out and spending time with all the people that I haven't had time to spend with, because I've been dedicating the last 5 years of my life to competing. And that also ties in with why I haven't been filming as much, because I haven't really been living the life that like I should be as a pro athlete. I know I'm probably being hard on myself, but yeah, like my nutrition is not 100%, so there's not much for me to film or show you, and I don't really know what you want to see when I'm not living the kind of life that I preach, or the kind of life that I'm coaching my clients to, you know. So I feel a little bit lost about that. But yeah, I would like your advice and what, like a comment from you guys to be like, what do you want to see in this unknown and uncertain time for me when I don't have a next show, when I call myself, I'm in a no season, because there's no off season, there's no season until, you know, I know that for sure I can travel, because even if the state borders open, I need to travel internationally because I'm a pro athlete. So it's very, very tough. I just don't know, and I will keep you guys updated if I know what's going to happen, but right now I'm just not dealing so good, okay? And that's why my videos are suffering as well. But I just thought I want to come on here, let you know where I'm at emotionally and personally, and that is the truth. The truth is, I'm trying to be flexible, live my life, be happy, still somewhat work on, you know, my goal. My goal hasn't changed. I still want to make it to the Olympia. I want to step on stage first. That's my main and immediate goal is to make it onto the stage. But when there's no stage and no opportunity for me, I'm not really sure what my next step is. I'm just living each day, day by day, and trying to be as positive as possible, and continuing to work on what I can and focus on what I can. So if any of you are having a hard time as well with any part of life, just know that we can only focus on what we can and just do our best, really. So at the moment, I'm still weight training. So weight training is my top priority. I do that about 6 to 7 days a week. Sometimes I don't have a day off. But yeah, generally I weight train 6 days. Not doing any set cardio, but I set myself, so this is not set by my coach, but I set myself a goal of 10K steps a day. So I'm just trying to stay active, get my steps in. I'm sure I mentioned this before, but I'm like deficient in vitamin D. So now that the weather is better and it's summer, I want to go outside and get more sunlight, so I try to get my steps in then. Otherwise I just jump on the treadmill. So I aim for about 10k steps a day. Also motivates me to stay active, and when I'm feeling a bit down and lazy, that I can get up and like clean my house and do chores and just get moving to get the steps in. So yep, got 10k steps. And with regards to my nutrition, we're still trying to do a reverse diet. So I am still reverse dieting. I'm just reversing much slower than last time. So obviously last time, you guys know, I got up to 400 grams of carbs. To be honest, I don't know or think I'd ever get back there again, only because when I was on 400 grams of carbs, I was like pushing 50 kilos, which is about 3 kilos above where I'm currently sitting. And because it was so hard for me to get lean, I think I want to maintain a little bit leaner, just so whenever my next prep is, I'll have less to lose. Also, just because I'm holding out for some sort of announcement, like maybe everything will be in my favor and they'd be like, all right, next month we can fly internationally, that I can make plans to compete at the next available show. So every time people have been asking me when my next show is, I pretty much say, once there's one that I can get to, I will make it happen. So I'm literally just waiting for someone to say go, pretty much. Like, so, or Mark McGowan to be specific. So once our premiere lifts all the travel bans and restrictions and there is a show that lines up, I will do the next available show, no matter where that may be, no matter where I need to fly, no matter how much money I need to throw at this, I'm willing to do it and I'm ready to go. So it's another reason why I've been working really, really hard lately on growing my business and trying to grow my online side of the coaching as well. Obviously, I love my face-to-face PT, but if I can really grow my online coaching, then you guys would really be supporting and helping me to be able to compete internationally and travel. So even if this means that I'd have to maybe stay in like Singapore for like a month or so while I compete and while maybe waiting for me to be able to come back, I really don't know. But in any case, if I have a more sustainable online business, then I'd be able to do that. So yeah, I'm working really, really hard on that, and that's pretty much what I'm pouring my heart and soul into. So yeah, that's where I'm at with nutrition. So still trying to reverse, but we're not going as aggressively. Also because I eat out on the weekends, so I try to adhere to my macros about 5 to 6 days a week. And then I probably have about like 2 days that I don't track. I somewhat eat intuitively. I go out and enjoy my time. So that's where I'm at with nutrition. I obviously try to be really mindful, but obviously I like to have my YOLO days. You all know I love my food. So yeah, sometimes I just have days where I just like eat a lot, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I do it. I don't like to call it like a cheat day, because I don't plan for like, all right, every Sunday is gonna be my cheat day. I'm gonna see like how many calories I can fit in. I just go by how I feel. I do it more of like a social thing, and just, yeah, like a more social lifestyle, go by how I feel kind of thing. If like Jeremy and my friends want to go out for like a big donut feast, then of course I'm not gonna say no. I've missed out on a lot of things over the last 5 years. Like I really have sacrificed a lot. So because I'm forced into slowing down, then I think I owe it to myself to just relax a little bit as well. I sometimes do struggle with feeling guilty and that like I should be better than this, and just a lot of feelings. But yeah, I've given a lot to this sport and I have so much more to give. But because the circumstances now are beyond my control, like I really feel that I do owe it to myself to like loosen up and enjoy a little bit. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But I still meal prep. I still eat my clean foods. I still love my fish. I'm still cooking rice. I'm still eating lots of veggies, trying to keep healthy. You know, the one good thing is, and I feel like I am in a good spot because obviously my hair is growing nice and healthy and my skin is really good. So I am still keeping in a healthy range. Yes, I am putting body fat back on, but I'm not just like totally neglecting my body and my health and everything. I'm not throwing everything out the window, even though I do eat junk from time to time. It's not ideal, but yeah, I'm still, as long as like, you know, my skin and hair and stuff is still healthy, it's a good sign that I myself know that I'm keeping myself healthy. And at the end of the day, like health is still number one. So enough of my rambling. I just feel like I wanted to catch up with you guys, let you know where I'm at, how I'm feeling. So I guess I'm just gonna end the vlog here. I'm sorry, today's is a little bit boring and just me chatting and talking, but for those of you who are like truly interested in my journey and how I feel, I just thought like I'd share. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed me kind of sitting down and doing this little girl chat, or like, I don't know, well, it's not all girls that are watching, mainly girls, but like, you know, this little one-on-one chat, catch up with me sort of thing, then please let me know. Give this video a thumbs up, comment below again with some ideas to help me out, or just letting me know how you feel about you know, what kind of content I should be filming now that I'm like at this stage in my life. Yeah, but I feel so much better letting you guys know this now. This feels like a big weight lifted off my shoulder. Obviously, like I said, I do these videos for you guys, so because I was feeling a bit lost as to what to film, I have kind of slacked on it a little bit, but I still, this channel still means a lot to me and I still want to grow it. I still want to film more videos for you, so please help me out by dropping a comment and a like, and I will see you in the next one.